Good evening, everyone. It's an honor to welcome you all in the session of the National Education Policy 2020. So, right. Education is the most powerful tool to shape future generations, and teachers are the heart for bringing the real transformation in the National Education Policy 2020. NEP 2020 is not just a policy, it's a roadmap for our education system in the 21st century. So, why NEP 2020 is important for educators, we are going to discuss. First of all, it shifts from rote learning to competency based learning, greater autonomy in teaching and curriculum planning means we have more freedom. Professional growth through continuous professional development. We all are undergoing the trainings from time to time, either conducted by the CBSC or the offline trainings. So that is very, very important for the educators to upgrade their knowledge. Teachers as facilitators, mentors, and innovators. Earlier we were called teachers, now we are facilitators, we are mentors, and we are innovators. Now, for educators, NEP 2020 opens a new horizon. It emphasizes learning over memorizing. Earlier, what used to happen that we used to memorize or mug up the things. Now, this scenario has entirely changed. Skill over mm, skill over content and flexibility over rigidity. This gives teachers the freedom to design meaningful learning experience. The policy recognizes teachers as facilitators, which I have already discussed with you people, and lifelong learners. We are learning throughout the life till the time we are leaving our work, ensuring opportunities for continuous professional development and creativity in the classroom. So these are the few highlights which NEP 2020, that is the National Education Policy 2020, suggests. Now, vision of NEP 2020. What are these? First of, holistic and multidisciplinary education should be there. Means overall development of the child should be there, right? A flexible curriculum, we can bring changes in the curriculum from time to time as and when required according to the need of the learners. Skill based, it should be skill based. We all have also learned various type of skills, and we will keep on learning. Inquiry driven learning means where the child is able to explore, the child is able to ask or question you. Even we as educators should also have the inquiry driven learning. Equity, inclusion, and joyful education. Now, the vision of NEP 2020 is to build an education system that is holistic, flexible, multidisciplinary, and skill oriented. We should learn various type of skills which we can use in our life, and it will help on to add on our knowledge in the 21st century. The focus is developing critical thinking. Now, again, there is a difference between thinking and critical thinking. Critical thinking, thinking logically what is actually right. Creativity, bringing something new, problem solving skills, rather than just transferring information. We are giving the content to the students that should not be there. It aspires to make every classroom an inclusive, engaging, the child should be engaged, joyful space where learners learn, they grow. Now, key highlights of NEP 2020. Now, early childhood care and education. NEP 2020 recognizes that the foundation of learning is laid in the early years. It means when the child is very small. The policy strongly emphasizes early childhood care and education. For the children aged 3 to 6 means they learn more. These are the most crucial year. Crucial year means important years for brain development. So the focus is on play-based, activity-based, and discovery-based learning. The aim is to provide a strong base in language, Cognitive skill. Now, cognitive skills are the mental skills or the mental ability of the child to learn and grasp the thing. The socio-economical development before child enters formal education or formal schooling. So this is the very important time or the crucial period. Now, next come 5 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 curricular structure. We all know the old structure was 10 plus 2 system has been replaced in the national education policy, which is more scientific and logically correct. What it is? The first 5 years, they are the foundational stage. Now, what are the foundational stage? 3 years for pre-primary and then 1 and 2. So 3 years plus class 1 and class 2 becomes 5 year, and these are called the foundational stage, dear educators. Now 3 years for preparatory stage. Now preparatory stage where we are preparing the child for the next class, and these are from class 3, these are class 3, 4 and 5th. Now again comes the, again there is a slot of 3 year that we call as middle stage, and this covers class 6, 7th and 8th, and again 4 years for secondary stage, that is 9th, 10th, 11th and 12th. The structure aligns with the child's cognitive again I'm telling you, that is the mental development stage, ensuring smooth and continuous learning journey. The learning journey should be continuous and it should be a joyful journey. Now, foundational literacy and numeracy as priority. Now, when we are talking about literacy and numeracy, what it is? One of the boldest step now which National Curriculum Policy 2020 is making, foundational literacy and numeracy a national mission. It's a nation mission. And what it is? By grade 3, when a child enters class 3, every child should be able to achieve basic reading, writing and numeracy skills, means should be aware regarding the number. Without these skills, further learning becomes very, very difficult. We cannot move ahead with the next step. And teachers play a vital role here, ensuring no child is left behind in these essential abilities. So these are very, very important. Now, next is classrooms are expected to move towards active learning. Projects, discussion should be there, problem solving rather than the lecture method which we used to follow earlier. Now, integration of technology. I am also using technology, otherwise I would not be able to connect with you people. So NEP 2020 emphasizes digital learning and technology integration. Technology is to be used as a tool to enhance teaching. To enhance means to upskill teaching, not to replace teacher. Platforms for e-learning, digital resources, blended learning methods will play an important role. I will discuss what is blended learning. This will require teachers to upgrade their digital pedagogy. Now, what is digital pedagogy? Means the teacher should be upskilled while using the digital content, right? Now, multilingualism and mother tongue in early education. Now, what is multilingualism? Means being able to speak several languages or many languages. The policy suggests that mother tongue or home language, suppose I am a Bengali, then my mother tongue is Bengali, should be the medium of instruction, like, right? Till class 5, and if I am in Kolkata, the children will be more acquainted with Bengali, preferably till it's still 5, but it can be carried on till class 8. Research shows that children learn concept faster when they taught in a familiar language. One is this thing. The other thing, there is a lot more connectivity. Children are able to understand more. At the same time, students will be encouraged to learn multiple languages. The child should be able to gain knowledge of multiple language, build communication skill, and cultural understanding is also there. They are able to understand diverse culture, focus on experiential, inquiry based and joyful learning. Now, what it is? Finally, NEP 2020, that is the National Education Policy 2020, that classroom should be a joyful place, engaging, the child should be engaged, and it should be inquiry driven. Curious, the child should be curious. The focus is on experiential learning, where students learn by doing. The child is actually doing or experimenting, right? And questioning, the teacher or the educator reflecting. This will help to build curiosity. There will be more inquisitiveness, creativity will come out, and love for learning that goes beyond textbook. As educators, these highlights remind us that our role is evolving from content delivery. Earlier, we whatever is there in the book we used to deliver. Now we have the liberty and as per NEP that we can add on to so that the learner is able to gain much more. The NEP 2020 empowers us to nurture learners who are not only knowledgeable but also creative. They should be knowledgeable, creative, skilled, and they should be more and more confident. Now, implications for teachers. Now, NEP first is teachers as facilitators, mentors, and not just the name has changed and our role has also changed a little, right? So NEP 2020 redefines the teacher's role. Role is almost the same, but it has been redefined. A teacher is no longer seen as a content deliver, whatever we are speaking or saying is true, but as facilitators, mentors, and guide. This means helping students learn how to think out of the box, explore new things, apply knowledge rather than simply memorizing it or mugging it up. Now, continuous professional development, 50 hours annually as per CBSC. We can do more than 50 hours also, whether it's online or offline. The policy ensures that teachers remain lifelong learners. We learn throughout our life. Every teacher is expected to undergo a minimum of 50 hours of professional development training each year. It means that every year we have to undergo the same when it the 50-hour training. This will keep educators updated with the latest teaching method. Whatever new is coming, we are updated with that. Technology use and subject knowledge is also updated, right? It's about growing together as professionals. We all grow together. Now, use of blended method. Now, what is this blended method? Online and offline method together. Sometimes we help our students in the online method, sometimes in offline methods, right? Teaching will no longer be restricted to classroom alone. Suppose there's an emergency, the teacher is taking the class from home, then the online method is very suitable and very appropriate. NEP 2020 encourages blended learning, a mix of online and offline method. Teachers use digital tools. We all are using tools nowadays, videos to make more to add more clarity, interactive apps along with traditional classroom practices should be there, but we need to upgrade ourselves to make our learning more effective, engaging, and reachable to every child. Now, competency based assessment over rote memorization. Competency based, we all are talking what is competency based assessment will shift from what students remember, earlier they used to mug up, to what students can do and what they know, what they have understood. Teacher will focus on competency based assessment, which measures skills, whether the child has learned the skill or not, problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, and application of knowledge instead of rote memorization, the old traditional method. Flexibility in pedagogy to suit diverse learners, right? Now, there is flexibility also in pedagogy. What it is, every child's learn differently as per NEP 2020. And NEP 2020 gives teachers the flexibility to use different teaching strategies. It can be storytelling, it can be role play, depends upon the subject and the topic. It can be projects, it can be experiments, it can be group discussions to meet the need of the learners, to add on more clarity to their knowledge, right? So, and the purpose is that no child is left behind. Great autonomy in curriculum planning. Now, what is this autonomy in curriculum planning? One of the most empowering feature of NEP 2020 is giving teachers great autonomy. Educators will have more freedom, we have more liberty to design our lesson plans and integrate local context. Suppose I'm teaching a chapter and if I'm adding something with I'm familiar and it's going to benefit or help the student, then I have that privilege, I have that liberty. Innovative in their classroom rather than strictly following the syllabus or the curriculum. In short, NEP 2020 places more trust and confidence on its teachers, that is, the educators. It empowers us to be facilitators. It is giving us more power. It's giving us more rights that we are facilitators, we are innovators because we find something new every time. And we are lifelong learners. We have to learn to guide students towards holistic development, that is, the 360-degree development of each and every individual. Now, school education reforms. Reforms changes. There are changes from time to time. Even we also change many things at our home, at our workplace, the situations, right? The laws, everything. So reforms are there, changes are there. Early childhood education for 3 to 6 years. Now, what it is? NEP 2020 highlights that the year between 3 to 6 are the most critical important for brain development. The policy says early childhood care and education through playway. Now, playway should be there, activity should be conducted, discovery based, the child should be able to find out something new. This ensures the children enter formal education. Now, when a child is entering the formal schooling, should have a strong social, emotional, and cognitive foundation. Everything should be quite strong. The child should be able to understand things. Now, integration of vocational education from grade 6. Now, what is vocational education? Like we are preparing the students for life, right? Not that child should pass from one class and move to another class. To prepare students for real life skills, NEP 2020 introduces vocational education from grade 6 onward. Now, student will be exposed to areas like coding. The child is learning coding. Like every school, there are different type of vocational courses: carpentry, gardening, music, singing, which adds on skills. The idea is to remove the stigma about vocation. One is to remove the stigma and build a respect for all profession. This is one thing. And while making learning practical and skill oriented, at the same time, the child is also learning a new skill for his or her own life as per his or her choice. Now, holistic progress card replacing the old report card. Now we remember the times when we were there, marks were there, grades were there, and the teacher used to write the comment, right? How the child is. Now, what's the change which NEP 2020 has brought? The traditional report card focused only on marks and exams. NEP 2020 replaces this with holistic progress card. This new system will record not just academics. Academics means not only the marks of the subjects, but also skills, the various skills the child is learning. Values, what are the values in the child? Creativity, is the child learning something new? Extracurricular achievements, etc., right? So it gives a 360-degree view of a child's growth and help both parents, teachers to understand the overall development of the learner, that is the child, right? Emphasis on values, ethics, and life skill. The policy stresses that education is not about knowledge, that how much marks we are scoring and we are moving to the next class, but also about character, right? Character building, values such as honesty, empathy, respect, responsibility should be integrated. Like each chapter of CBSE teaches us something or the other, whether it's a science or a language chapter, whether it's a Hindi chapter, we all learn. Life skills like communication, we learn the art of articulation of words, problem solving, teamwork, and leadership will also give equal importance to prepare children for life beyond academics. There is a life beyond books also that we learn. Uh, Now, higher education reforms. There are reforms, changes. Now, what are those changes? That is multidisciplinary approach. What is this multidisciplinary approach? NEP 2020, that is the National Education Policy, introduces a multidisciplinary approach in higher education. This means students will no longer be restricted to one narrow field. For example, a science student can also study music. A literature student can learn about data science. So we can try our hands in different fields. Like, I have learned a poem of Robert Frost where there were two roads, so he can take both the roads, right? The flexibility helps students to build a broader knowledge base, think creatively, and connect ideas across the subject, how they are interconnected or interlinked. Now, next is the academic bank of credit. In short, we call it A, B, and C. What is this academic? Means academically, whatever the child is learning, that goes into his credit, that goes into his account. Like we have our ATM card, we can see the debit and the credit of the transaction. Similar, the child is able to see a very innovative idea, a purposeful idea of NEP 2020 is the Academic Bank of Credit. This will digitally score the credits earned by the students, means whatever the child has achieved in different courses and institutions. They can be different schools or different organizations. Students can collect these credits over time and use them to complete their degrees, right? So it provides flexibility. Suppose if a child has left the course in between, that later on in his life he can add. So even if a student take a break or changes the institution, means if a break is there due to any reason, or maybe a child is changing the school, maybe transfer or any other circumstances or situation, the learning will not be wasted, right? Now, flexibility of course choices. In course choices, students will now have greater freedom to choose course according to their interest. It will not be imposed on them. And career goals. For example, a student can choose a combination of subjects across streams, like it can be from science, it can be from arts, it can be from commerce also. The flexibility ensures that education is more relevant, personalized, and aligned with the student's aspiration as per the desire of the child. Emphasis on research and innovation. Innovation bringing something new. NEP 2020 gives strong importance in research and innovation. Means changes should be there in higher education also. Universities will encourage research-based projects, critical thinking, and innovation labs. The idea is to make India a global knowledge hub. How it can be done? By adding creativity, original thinking, and entrepreneurships among the students. Now, when these changes are taking place in higher education, uh, reforms, it's shaping a flexible, innovative, and globally competitive system. While these reforms are for college and university, they also inspire us in school educators to encourage curiosity, creativity, and critical thinking among our learners. So, earlier I have discussed the changes, but these changes we can bring in our students at school level students also. Now, assessment changes. Now, shift from formative uh, to competency based assessment. Now, traditionally, our assessment focused on rote memorization and final exam. Now, NEP 2020 changes this by prompting formative and competency based assessment. Now, what does this mean? That evaluation of students is on the ability to understand concept, apply knowledge, think critically, and solve problem rather than just remembering the facts. Now, National Assessment Center, which we call PARAK, to ensure standardization, whether in all the organization the same is being followed or not, NEP 2020 proposes the setting up of PARAK. What it is? Performance, assessment, review, analyze of knowledge for holistic development. The body will guide schools in creating fair, reliable, and competency based assessment. It will help to bring uniformity and improve the way of learning outcomes are measured across the country. It should be uniform. Now, next is continuous assessment instead of one-time exams, which used to happen in our time. The policy encourages a move away from the pressure of one big final exam. Instead, it promotes continuous assessment through class participation, projects, assignment, quizzes, and regular feedbacks. This reduces stress, right? Because it keeps on happening from time to time and gives teachers a clear picture of the child's progress throughout the year. The holistic progress card. One of the most student friendly reform is the holistic progress card. Instead of showing only marks or grade, which we have already discussed, my dear educators, it will reflect the child's overall development. And what are these development? Development of academic skill, creativity, critical thinking, sports, which are very, very essential, values, what values the child is taking forward, social emotional growth. It's a 360-degree assessment that involves teachers, students, and even parents in the tracking process. Now, technology integration. Now, digital learning tools and online platforms, right? So, NEP 2020 emphasizes the use of digital learning tools to make classroom more interactive and engaging. Tools like e-content, educational apps, simulations, and digital libraries will support learning beyond textbooks. So we all are using these resources, make knowledge more accessible and personalized for every student, and it will help on. Now, online platform. Now, the policy promotes the use of online platform in teaching uh, and training and assessment. Platform like Diksha and Swam. Diksha is for the school and Swam is for higher educations. Our other digital initiative will provide quality content in multiple languages, right? From state to state, children can change the language and they will be able to get the knowledge. This helps to bridge the gap, especially in remote areas in the outskirts, and ensure that every learner has access to resource anywhere and anytime. Next is National Education Technology Forum, NETF, to coordinate with the guide the use of technology in education. Uh, that is NEP 2020 proposes the establishment of National Education Technology Reform Forum, that is NETF, and will serve as a platform where ideas, innovations, and best practices in education technology can be shared. We all add on to our knowledge by sharing our knowledge, isn't it? And implemented effectively across the country. Uh, Someone is scribbling on my screen. Please stop it. Teachers training and digital pedagogy. NEP 2020 clearly states uh, that technology should be used as a support, not as a substitute for the teacher. For this reason, teachers will receive training in digital pedagogy. The training will help us to design blended learning experience, that is the online and the offline experience, use digital online tools effectively, and integrate technology in ways that truly enhance teachers' learning. So, teachers' training and digital pedagogy is very, very important. Now, opportunities and challenges. With opportunities come challenges. NEP 2020 bring many positive opportunities to us as educators. Now, first, it gives us greater autonomy in teaching. Now have more freedom to design lessons and choose methods that best suit the students. Second, the policy encourages creativity in teaching. We can move beyond textbooks and use projects, activities, real life example to make learning more fun, more relevant. Next is NEP 2020 promotes continuous growth through professional development. With regular training, workshop, and peer learning, teachers will keep upgrading their skill and knowledge. So it's very, very helpful. Now, challenges for teachers. Now, request everyone to rejoin again after 10 minutes with the same link, because Zoom take a buffer time of 10 minutes. Hope you will consider my request if in case the meeting gets disconnected. Challenges for teachers. Of course, every reform brings some challenges. And one challenge is in adapting ourselves to new methods, the new innovative methods. Moving from rote learning to competency based teaching requires change in mindset. The mindset should change, and we should be in the habit of practicing it. Another challenge is the digital divide. Not all school and students have access to technology, which can make our learning more possible, more feasible. Lastly, there are training needs for teachers. Teachers will need proper support and guidance to use digital tools and innovative teaching strategies effectively. And how to overcome the challenges. The most important thing, these challenges are real, but we can overcome it. One is collaboration with colleagues. Help us to share our ideas. Colleagues help us a lot. Peer learning allow teacher to learn from one another experience. It helps us, it adds on to our knowledge. And most important is ongoing professional development, right? Through workshops, webinars, and practice will make us adapt to new expectations with confidence. So, well, NEP 2020 bring both opportunities and challenges. It ultimately empowers us to become more strong, more creative, and more impactful educators. Now, role of teachers in NEP 2020 implementation, that is curriculum and pedagogy redesign. Teachers play the most important role in implementing NEP 2020. One key responsibility is to redesign curriculum and pedagogy. This means moving beyond the traditional method, going out of the traditional method, creating lessons that are practical, feasible, engaging, and connected to real life situation. We have the power to shape learning experience that builds skill, not just memory, right? Student centric teaching. The policy emphasizes, earlier it was teacher centric, now it's student centric. It means the focus shift from the teacher teaches to how the student learn. Every child is unique, and as a teacher we need to adapt new methods to suit diverse learners, whether through activities, projects, discussions, hand-on practice, or any other method with which the learners learn easily and confidently. Lifelong learning mindset. NEP 2020 encourages teachers to see themselves as learners. We all are learners. Education is changing rapidly, so the students need. By continuously updating our knowledge, we will be able to learn new things, and we will be able to handle the situation. 1 minute is left, dear educators. Creating inclusive and joyful classroom, making a happy classroom where learners enjoy. Students should feel connected with the teacher. We should feel at ease with the student, and student should feel confident to speak in front of us. This is what NP 2020, that is National Education Policy, suggests. Now, I think I should end the meeting because only 1 minute is left. We will start. The conclusion point is left. NEP 2020 is not a policy but a roadmap for future education, right? As we come to the conclusion of the session, let's remember that NEP 2020 is not just a policy, it's a roadmap, it's a layout, and it helps us. The policy gives a clear vision of how education should move towards flexibility, creativity, and skill development. So, this policy gives a clear vision of how education should move towards flexibility, creativity, skill development, and holistic growth. But the success of this vision depend upon us, that is we educators. Teachers are the key drivers to bring the real change in our classroom. We are the ones who will bring these reforms to life in our classroom, first of all, by upskilling ourselves and then applying it. By embracing innovation, continuous learning, and student centric approach, we can make a big difference in every classroom. And finally, let me carry this thought with you all. Empowered teachers create empowered learners. When we are inspired, motivated, and prepared, we can truly empower our students to succeed in life, to become a better learner, a better human being with all the skills. Changes begin in the classroom when teachers embrace the spirit of NEP, that is National Education Policy 2020. We do not just teach lessons, we shape the future generations. The link is there in the chat box. You can generate your certificates. Thank you, each one of you, for joining me today, and have a wonderful day ahead. Take care, everyone. I'm ending the session, but request you all to kindly fill the feedback form so that I should be able to know what are the gray areas in which I need to upskill myself. Looking forward for your cooperation. Thanks once again from the bottom of my heart.